All right, you guys. So, unexpectedly, I'm going to be out for 2 days. Um, and I had to kind of figure out a way that I could still talk to you. So I figured that a video would work out well. I'm going to tell you what I would like for you to accomplish this period. So, as I mentioned today, you are going to be working on the IDP. Specifically, you're going to be working on the engineering cycle. This should be familiar from last year. We used the same template. So, you'll see a document attached. And I just kind of quickly wanted to go over for my expectation for this. Since this is now your third time using this template, I expect more than what I've seen in the past. You're going to have 2 days to work on this, so I expect high quality work. So for step one, you're going to identify your need or problem, challenge, which is pretty much what inspired you to start your product or company, right? So I would like that to be in complete sentences, and I would like for your problem to be clear. Because some of you guys wrote that really quickly on your product card, but it was never really fully explained. So for some of you guys, this might look like a paragraph or two. So I want it very well explained. Research the need or problem is probably going to take you possibly most of the period. So I wrote instructions underneath there. It says try to see if someone has tried to solve the problem. So we want to see if this already exists. What did other people do? Research, that means Google it. It could look like putting in website links. It could look like pictures. It could look like pulling out quotes from an article. Whatever you put in there needs an explanation. Don't just put a link there and expect me to know what it is. You need to tell me, what is that link representing? Maybe that link just represents a part of your product. So please explain each section. I don't want to, if this section isn't done correctly, this is the part that I'm looking into the most. So please make sure that you're careful with that. And I don't want to just see one thing on there. You're doing research, so that means that you might be looking at research for materials. You might be looking at blueprints, things like that. So I need a variety of things in this box, and that's number 2. For number 3, you're going to be developing possible solutions. So thinking about your product, maybe originally you had thought about making something out of metal and then realized we don't have metal. So what are you going to do now? So think about multiple solutions for number 3. There should be more than one maybe type of material listed, or maybe more than one way of building this product. And so I need to see more than one option. I need to see what you brainstormed. And then after going through all of your brainstorming, if you have team members here, that's awesome. Between your team members, you can discuss and decide what is the best solution out of what you guys have here. If you don't have a team member, just do your best to pick one yourself. And then when we have teamwork time in English class, you'll get to share those out officially. But each person is responsible for creating their own template of this. Also, something else that I wanted to say, I informed the sub that you're going to be watching this video and that you're going to be working on this document. So I informed her that there may be a change of seats if you have a partner. So please make sure that if you do change your seats, that you're sitting with your partners from your IDP teams. You're not sitting with your friends. So please make sure that you take this time to work on this, because there will not be other time to work on this. So if I come back and I find empty engineering cycle templates, that's going to be a 0, not just in my class. It's going to be a 0 in science, English, history, and math. And I will ensure that that happens. So please make sure that you do a good job on this so that you can continue getting a good grade on your IDP. Now, for the part where it says construct a prototype, you're going to be listing the materials that you need. This is extremely important. We are going to be going to the makerspace. I'm going to be looking through your templates. And next week, we're actually going to be creating a blueprint of your product. I will not let you use a material that is not listed here. If you suddenly get inspired in the makerspace by something else, guess what? You're going to have to go through the engineering process all over again and submit a new engineering process and a new blueprint. So, in order not to do that, plan well and make sure that you come up with a good plan, because this year I am going to be very determined that you follow your plan. A lot of you guys last year, you wrote out a plan and then you just kind of threw it out the window and did different things. That's not happening this year. If your blueprint does not match your product, that is a problem. So we want to make sure that your blueprint is done well. In order to do that, your list of materials needs to be very thorough. For now, creating the blueprint is going to be on hold. So I see on step 5 it says create a blueprint. If you would like to create one, you can use the drawing app we've been using in physics to start one, but officially we'll be doing a really official one next week. Number 6, it says test and evaluate the solution. So how will you know your idea worked? I need you to be specific about how do you know that your product is successful? What does it exactly need to do? What does it look like? What does it do when, how do you know it's successful? And how are you going to test it to be successful, right? So for our robotic arms, for some of you guys last year, it needs to be able to pick up an item. So that's how we know that it was successful. How are you going to test it? We're going to test it. We're going to make it pick up a cup. So tell me specifics. It should not just be like, I'm going to test it. And then the last thing is communicate the solutions. So for this, this might be where I want you to think about what are potential problems, because as of right now, we don't have an official product built yet. So this is a part that we're going to have to come back to, and we'll probably come back to after we've started actually building. So this document will be returned to you once that happens, and then you will be putting in more detail for step number 7. So I know this video was long, but I wanted to make sure that you heard my instructions since I wasn't here, since I didn't know I was going to be out and I didn't get a chance to tell you. So I really expect high quality work on this, you guys. You know how I feel about being out. I hate it. But what I hate more is coming back to a bad note of students, or coming back and seeing that students didn't do any work. Thankfully, I haven't had that problem this year. I tried my best to get a good sub. I am not sure if it's going to go through, so fingers crossed. And if there are any major issues, I will be checking Schoology probably hourly. And so if you have an issue, please message me on there. And then that way I can make sure to problem solve any problems that arise. Okay, so that's what you're doing for science. If there are any questions, you're doing it for 2 days, so I expect, again, high quality work. You'll be doing that today, and you're going to be doing that tomorrow as well. All right, you guys, I'll miss you. I'll see you soon. Bye.